Here we go. This is our low pressure area, borderline tropical depression, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe by the next update this is going to be named. Currently recording this, by the way, on the evening of the 22nd of May 2024 in the Western Pacific, right over Palau. That's the island right in the middle of this circulation where we are seeing plenty of rainfall. These thunderstorms continuing to flare up as that circulation begins to wrap up, and as we expected, the further north this goes, the more it's going to run into that Coriolis force and likely track along the east coast of Visayas over towards Luzon before turning towards north based on the current model guidance. Now, there's still plenty of questions to be had here. For starters, just take a look at the overall background flow, where our circulation is. The flow actually takes us more onshore towards the Philippines as this area begins to wrap up. So I only point that out. It differs from what the current guidance is because there is that threshold of uncertainty in the current forecast. So let's just talk about this a little bit. First, taking a look at a little closer at the satellite imagery, you have our convection continuing to try to wrap up as this pulls towards the north and west. Now, there is the high pressure ridge. That's why all these clear skies are right in here. So this is going to want to try to at least round that, but what should degrade that ridge is all the way off here towards the upper left portion of your screen is that front that could be digging down, allowing this to hook and turn towards the north. So we take a look at our guidance as it nears the east coast of Visayas, bringing in much needed rainfall. This actually, if this plays out as the guidance is showing right now, this would be good because it wouldn't be full on typhoon, but it would help enhance some showers in some areas that are under an emergency right now because of just how bone dry it is, especially for farmers and things like that. So at the very least, late day Samar looking at heavy rain, gusty conditions. This is showing along the east coast of Luzon, around Legazpi area, upwards of 40 to 50 kilometer per hour winds. Before it edges towards north, staying just offshore of northern Luzon, still helping enhance those afternoon showers, but really the worst of the impact staying towards the east. Another look at the ECMWF from a bird's eye view here and just showing you as this moves over Palau, bringing those rain showers. By this point over the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if this is not named, and then it turns towards the north. Now, here's the deal, guys. Look how close this is. If this edges just a little bit further west, it changes the whole forecast, and then we're talking about direct impacts with these tropical storm strength, at the very least winds, heavy rainfall, things like that. So there's still this uncertainty here, and that's why I showed you that kind of overall background flow to get you a grasp of what the flow is right now and what we're waiting on with that trough trying to dig down. But this is a look at the guidance. Even with this offshore, still looking at plenty of rainfall. Now you might be thinking, well, Robert, you know, what's the GFS showing? You're showing me the ECMWF, and here's the deal. The GFS actually kind of in the same line. This is the GFS for Saturday afternoon. Let me pull this up so you can see the dates on the bottom here. But for Saturday, just showing you that this is going to be just offshore. We scoot it back till Friday. Coming up here towards Saturday, that point would be a full-on typhoon if the GFS had its way. This is the ECMWF, a little bit closer between the two. There you go. And then we can just show up the Aghon, also showing it just offshore as well. So all the models really kind of show that churn towards the north, but there is still some questions to be had on the exact timing. Like I said, even if it edged a little bit further towards the west, that would change things up quite considerably as far as the total impacts from this storm system. So, I mean, just take a look at the climatology across our area. It would indicate, you know, either that track just offshore or a little bit edged towards the west. We need this to get a little bit more organized before we get those official tracks kind of showing you where it could go. But I think it's going to be very borderline with moving onshore or not, which, like I said, makes a big difference. Just offshore, a lot less rain, a lot less wind. It moves onshore, a lot more rain over a broad area. And then on the back side of this, can't forget about this, but there's double impacts to be had here. This is looking at the GFS. Actually, I'll scoot this over a little bit so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead. This is watching our storm off the coast. Watch as it pulls away and it dips down the rainy season front. that's impacting Japan currently across the Philippines, and it stretches in that atmospheric river across Luzon, helping Region 1 and the west coast of the Philippines for that matter, with some rainfall. Officially, rainy season has started in Thailand and also Okinawa, so, you know, it's on tap. If this area spawns up that moisture, we could start to see the onset of the southwest monsoon for Luzon at the very least, if this does kick on by. So there's two-pronged impacts from this storm system. Of course, the direct impacts if we see this come on shore, and then it could enhance that monsoonal flow on the back side of it. So we got plenty to talk about here. Right now, before even the arrival, before the thing's named, how about you help out your neighbors, help out your friends, and just be like, hey, there's a potential of a storm system. I know Pegasus is saying there's a low pressure area. They're getting to it. They have a lot tougher job than I do, because if they put out a warning, it's like, all right, this is when the gears start moving. So, you know, just help out your neighbors until ahead of when those warnings do start coming out. Get ahead of the ball. And you know what? If you prepare, yeah, it doesn't hurt at the very least, you know, if the storm doesn't impact you directly. Massive thanks for everybody that continues to support this channel. I'll get to the local forecast in a second. I just want to give a shout out. If you want to support it, please check out the Patreon. Link is down below, or you can become a member on YouTube, or at the very least, hit that like and subscribe button on these videos. They help. My goal is to get up to 100,000 subscribers one day, so let's hope we get there. All right, so our forecast for our Thursday. Yeah, East Coast, still looking at that easterly float. Places like Tacloban might see some rain. Unfortunately, Western Visayas still on the dry side, and also relatively drier across Luzon, considering that fronts lifted towards the north and our lows down towards the southeast. Yeah, the West Coast could see some isolated showers in the mountains, but just generally a lot drier than we have seen as of late. Now, if we do see this low come on shore, this of course will bring needed rain to parts of Cebu as well, and then on the back side of that, usher in that moisture flow coming in from the west, while Siargao also looking at a chance of rain. I know it's been dry for you too, so of course with a low pressure area off the coast, this could enhance that chance of precipitation as well. The rainy season front officially has begun in Naha into Okinawa, and that forecast screams rainy season. That's all I got to say about that. That really kind of gets you to the point. Rain every single day. So of course, going to continue to watch our area. It all depends on our ridge, our trough right in here, and how this develops as it moves off towards the north. As I mentioned, even if it edges just a little bit further west, that changes things up, and even east changes things up. So everybody across the Philippines, for that matter, needs to continue to watch this one closely. I'll keep you posted. We're going to continue to track this one. I'll try to put out 2 updates a day as opposed to one every other day, just to keep guys on top of this. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and of course, stay safe out there.